those can be consolidated. Those can be regionalized, building and code departments. Have they really looked at their health insurance? I mean, the health insurance is a big, it's part of the benefits. The lowest city within our county pays per month is Ormond Beach. Our last figures was they paid $385 a month per employee for health insurance. The reason why is because when Fred Costello was mayor, he told the insurance agent to sharpen their pencil, and they did. Now you compare that, the average within the cities in our county, about the average a city pays per month per employee is around $500 a month. But there are some that are pushing $600 and $700 a month. There's one area right there. Have they changed that? Not to our knowledge, they haven't changed that. They haven't looked into that.
You're right, that could be a big
That's a huge savings. You can
yeah.
privatize some areas. Fleet management. I mean, look, what about road and bridge? Just the insurance they pay on the equipment alone that they have like, for example, at the county, in their road and bridge department. Just the insurance they pay is in the tens of millions of dollars.
Now, you support the fire departments actually consolidating?
Not the way their county is doing it right now, I don't support. But yes, I do support a regionalization or some type of consolidation of fire and transport, absolutely. But I think what the county is doing right now, in steamrolling this through and the way they're doing it, I think is totally unacceptable. I think it needs to be a more thoughtful process. And I think, and you start in a little bit slower, little stages at a time, and within the next several years, as opposed to just ramming it through. The way they're going about, I totally disagree with. I think it's bad management.
Yeah, it does seem to be all of a sudden now very quickly.
But I think by September 1st, October 1st, they're supposed to be EVAC's supposed to be in with the county, and I'm not sure about the consolidation of the fire departments. But, and to me, we through Volusia tax reform, we've researched and researched and researched it for 5 years, 4 years at least, maybe closer to 5. I've met with firemen, I've met with fire chiefs, I've, met with, managers and elected officials. And you do it in a more thoughtful, thought-out process as opposed to just steamrolling it. And like, for instance, I mean, perhaps you start with the dispatch. That's the place to start. I think we have like 4 dispatch centers within our county, and that, to me, that's how you start, is through the dispatch. And I think there's some stories behind what's going on. Are we going to get something beeped in a minute or something?
I don't know. Something sounds like a little beat of music going behind us. I kind of don't. But no, we're good. We're good. Let me just say that you're listening to Truth with Gwen Azama-Edwards. My guest, of course, is Margie Patchett, and Margie is the.
There we go.
Hey, that's what we're waiting for. Woo!
Oh.
Oh my God. Boy, we heard that one, didn't we?
Oh, we did. You heard it coming, Gwen.
I know. Big didn't cut that one off. I didn't check it. Woof. But the bottom line, though, is that, you talked about Volusia Council of Governments. Actually, they've been studying a lot of these issues for years and years and years, and it comes down to turf and turfism, and
yeah, it does.
Nobody wants to give up the power, and
that's
nobody
right.
wants to give up this or that or the other, and so we end up then with a lot of waste, a lot of extra spending that isn't always necessary. But I would agree with you that an abrupt change, people really, sometimes there are some things, I guess, that you just have to kind of cut it off at the head and just go with it. But when it comes to human beings, you really have to almost always transition into something, because
especially when you're talking public safety, Gwen. And in 2008, we went to the Volusia Council of Governments, and after we worked with them on the tax swap thing that we all came to an agreement on, some common ground on, the next thing I brought up to them, I've read all the $2 million worth of studies that we've done for consolidation and everything. They all say the same thing: do it, but it must be a gradual move to it. Number one. But I went to the VCOG, Volusia Council of Governments. I said, okay, now that we worked on this, let's work on consolidating, fire and transport. and they didn't want to do it. They did not want to do it back then. And because of turf wars, I guess, probably because of that. But, you know, we need to do it. Now is the time to do it. But the way they're going about doing it, I totally disagree with. And that is sad. And you must be very careful and concise and thoughtful when you're talking about public safety, and that's what we're talking about.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And my question would be, why is it there one, you know, we've talked about consolidation of fire and transport departments since 1996, I think was the first study.
Yeah.
Okay, when I first moved here in 1984, there was a, you know, the first time I voted here in Daytona Beach was to vote to consolidate the cities and stuff, consolidation, and that went down. But, so they've been talking about it for years, so why all of a sudden, boom, you know, it makes me wonder.
Yeah.
Why do you want to do it overnight?
The real plan is.
What's the real, what's going on really behind the scenes?
I don't think I said WLE 1380 AM on your radio down in Norman Beach, Florida. But I agree with you. It does seem like all of a sudden we got there's this master plan, and all of a sudden these pieces have to fit into fit into place. And even if it's been something you've been talking about forever, you know, the truth is that our area is a transit area. I mean, there are just so many people who are here now that weren't here even 2 years ago.
Right.
And a lot of people, you know, there was a study from the census information that was in the paper too, to talk about how many adults, young adults, middle-aged adults are leaving the area because of job situations.
That's right.
And so the school system suffers because, you know, a lot of the younger ones that are going are taking their kids with them, and the like, or they're not staying here to have kids and the like. So we're continually impacted by those numbers based on the fact that we're a very mobile society, and that we're being hurt in Florida overall, but also in the county. Even though we're growing some, we're not growing, you know, great guns like we used to, which gives us a great opportunity, you know, because some things are a problem, but other times it's an opportunity too.
And that's right. That you're exactly right there, Gwen. But you know, with regard to the census, that's the past 10 years. You know, from 2000 to 2010, yes, we have gained population. But if you look at the census year by year and go starting from 05, 06, 07, the past 4 or 5 years, and see how we have people moving out since then. Even though we've had an increase the past several years, people have been moving out. You know, we have, you know, lower enrollment in schools. That's been going on for the past 3 years, decline in student enrollment. And, you know, I'm working now at Adams Cameron Title, which I really love. I started there in January, and working on Beachside. But it's really sad because I used to work right across the street from where I'm working now 27 years ago when I first moved here, on the beach side, right off Seabreeze. And that was the hustle and bustle area of the time. There were places to go, people all over the place. There's nobody there now, and I'm working down there, and it's dead, and it's so sad to see. And I'll drive from Port Orange. At first I was driving US 1 and then coming over the Seabreeze Bridge and, you know, going to work. But there was a lot of traffic. I thought one day, well, I'll try going to the beach side, see if, you know, not as many stoplights. There's no traffic. Even during Bike Week, the height of Bike Week and Race Week. Well, yeah, and Race Week. I could, you know, right around Main Street area and right by the Ocean Center was busy. But after that, it was
that's what I found too in that case. And I know they're saying, oh, we had all these people go.
I don't know where they were.
The way you move in traffic, I didn't feel it.
I didn't see them, and you know, and I passed all the hotels I passed in the morning, and in the afternoons coming home from work, I'd look at all the vacancy signs. There's a lot of hotels that have vacancy during Bike Week and Race Week. Now, unless they filled up on Saturday, okay, but on Friday mornings they weren't, which was, you know, it's just really sad.
It is
sad. And you know, I love this area. I've lived here for 27 years, and I think it's because of our high taxes. We don't want, you know, our rules and regulations for businesses. I mean, I don't know if you heard about that. Did you read the business section in the News Journal? I think it was yesterday, where there was that one restaurant on Main Street in Daytona.
The Wreck. It's still called the Wreck.
And whatever it's called now.
44 and all that. Yeah.
And now he's closed down after, 7 to 8 months, he says, because he can't believe he owns restaurants in other cities throughout the state. And how did he put it? He said something like,
citizens complaining.
Citizens complaining and businesses. He says he couldn't believe in the city